Next is from Lucas. He's from the Peak. Where's... First, we're going to get to Lucas, so bear with me, please. Sorry, we have a list of people who are asking questions here.
Well, I have a very quick question.
Very quick.
Can I ask my question, Mr. Poilievre? I'm not. You don't control that.
No, John said no.
John said no.
You have no control over who asks questions, right? No ability.
Clinton Jaws, please like this video. It's the only thing I care about. Who would have thought? Pierre's talking to the seniors. This older fella gets up and he's got a question. He wants it answered, and he wants it answered now. He tries 3 or 4 times, and finally they're like, okay, what's your question? And then Anna's response to him. Let's watch it, but you know what, guys? He makes a couple of big announcements here. And Canada needs to know about it.
I know when you turn 65, Moses, there'll be a lot of demands on you to stay in the workforce. It'll be a little while before that day comes, but nevertheless, it will indeed. So you'll be very happy with the next policy announcement I have, and it is this, that a Conservative government will honor and reward the hard work of seniors by keeping your first $34,000 of earnings completely tax-free.
You hear that? I own 2 places, and I like the sounds of this one.
1, we will protect old age security, GIS, and CPP. You will continue to get your inflation-indexed benefits starting at age 65. 2nd, we will never allow a tax on home equity. Period. Full stop. Not going to happen.
Ever.
But
so this guy's a no.
You're
this
right
is a
to
no-brainer.
raise the question because, weirdly, the Liberals put a question on your tax form to find out what primary residence you have. I don't know why they need that information. If it's not a taxable asset, then why does the tax department need to know about it? The Liberals have also been using your tax dollars to fund studies advocating a tax on
Why would anybody vote Liberal? Sorry.
Home equity, so that if you sell your home to downsize or move into a senior's home, then you would have to pay full capital gains tax on that amount. That would be a crippling policy decision for our seniors.
You know they're going to do it.
Just Saturday, Mr. Carney came out with a platform that requires $130 billion of brand new spending above and beyond what Justin Trudeau had already projected. They're pledging to, if you add up Trudeau's planned spending and Carney's new promises, it's $250 billion of new debt that they would add if they're elected to a 4th term. Now, I ask you a question. What happens when the finance officials tap them on the shoulder and says, you're out of money, you need to go find more? Well, they're going to go out and they're going to tax your home equity. They're going to go after your house.
Yeah, they are.
And they'll lie and deny, and they'll never admit it before an election. Of course not. But when have they ever, the tax increases Liberals have brought in, when have they ever admitted it before the election happens? They do it after they no longer need your vote, but still need your money. Bottom line is, Liberals will tax your home equity if you give them the chance in this election. We will never let that happen. Your home belongs to you, and when you sell, you should keep every single penny for yourself and your kids.
Big deal that he said it because he's telling the truth. Now they take some questions. Listen to the fella in the background.
All right. Next is from Lucas. He's from the Peak. Where's... First, we're going to get to Lucas, so bear with me, please. Thank you.
I didn't understand this question, what Lucas says here.
Hi there.
But Pierre laughs.
Over the course of your career, who that you've encountered is most similar to President Trump, and how did you deal with them?
Somebody in the audience yelled out Pierre Poilievre. And is that such a bad thing? Or do you just want to keep on being weak, Canada?
I don't think there's anyone who's quite like him. I mean, I think he's a different cat. But the reality is you have to respond with strength. If you're weak, you show weakness, then he seizes on weakness. And that's why he likes the Liberal Party so much.
Of course.
He said he wants the Liberals to be reelected because they're weak. And he said they'll be easier to deal with. And they've done nothing but project weakness from the very beginning.
Moving on to the next question. Just watch it. I don't even have to say anything. But I know what Pierre's thinking. Because I would be thinking, please don't. I don't want to hear your question. I don't want to answer your question. I'm trying to win an election. Don't ruin it for me.
Sorry, we have a list of people who are asking questions here.
Well, I have a very quick question.
Very quick.
Can I ask my question, Mr. Poilievre? I'm not. You don't control that.
No, I'm sorry, sir. You, sir.
Oh, I see. You have to. When would I be able to ask the question? 3 more?
Let's hear from some different voices.
They say, no, you can't answer a question. So Pierre answers somebody else's question. And then the main event. Here it is. The news, it moves fast. And it's just not about keeping up. It's about seeing clearly. And that's why I use Ground News. They show you how it's being reported. Left, right, and everything in between all in one place. No algorithm deciding what you should see and no echo chambers. See for yourself at ground.news/based. Take this recent story. Poilievre promises to crack down on scammers. Here's how Ground News broke it down. The Hamilton Spectator, which leans left, ran with, where's Poilievre's healthcare plan? Completely changing the focus and raising uncertainty. Meanwhile, the National Post, which leans right, was more straightforward. Conservatives promise to crack down on scammers who target seniors. Same story, 2 different headlines. With Ground News, you can compare coverage at a glance, see who owns the outlet, and get a real sense of what's driving the narrative. Everybody should be using this feature, Blind Spot Feed. It shows you stories that one side of the spectrum isn't covering at all. Stuff you literally wouldn't know existed if you were only getting your news from one source. So if you're tired of being force-fed only one version of the truth, check out Ground News. Click the link in the description and go to ground.news/base to get 40% off their Vantage plan. The one I use. Gives you unlimited access. Or click the QR code that you see on the screen. Over 1 million people have this app. Guys, start thinking for yourself. They do.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you can ask your question.
No. After all of our questions are done.
No, John said no.
John said no.
You have no control over who asks questions, right? No ability.
Anybody can ask questions.
Good, Anna.
Can I ask my question?
I'm done.
Then we'll get done.
Marissa, whoever you want to answer the question, I'm happy to take questions from anyone.
Disruptive. We're giving you an opportunity to ask a question now. Go ahead.
Okay, well,
It's a great question.
all right.
Mr. Poilievre,
Yes, sir.
you said something very.
Sir, can you speak here? I'm going to just...
Here, take the microphone so I can hear the gentleman.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Poilievre, you said something very interesting and to me.
Yes.
You twice mentioned anti-Semitic riots. Now, I do remember that in the 30s there was a very large anti-Semitic riot led by Nazis during the growth of the Nazis, and it was in downtown Toronto. I don't see, or I haven't seen, maybe I missed it, where and when the anti-Semitic riots of recent time have happened. Do you remember the places or the dates or times when these anti-Semitic riots that you mentioned
Yes, I
took
can.
place?
Happy to. Downtown Vancouver, they had a miniature riot right outside a coffee shop where I was speaking, targeting me because I've been a defender of the Jewish people. They've happened in downtown Toronto. In Montreal, in the late fall, there was an absolute monstrous mob going around smashing windows, lighting fires, and doing Hail Hitler symbols. We've had Jewish daycares attacked. We've had Jewish schools that have bullets fly through their windows in the middle of the night. We've had synagogues firebombed. Well, I just gave you a bunch of examples, sir. And
Why are none of those covered in the newspapers?
no, I don't control the newspapers. I don't control the newspapers, sir. And I don't intend to. I don't want to live in a country where politicians control the newspapers. I believe in freedom of speech.
Good answer. Freedom of speech. Our channels can be shut down if the libs get in. That's a fact.
My mission is to, when I become Prime Minister, to ensure that there are no anti-Semitic riots for the newspapers to write about. Let's make this a safe country again.
Yeah, let's get the hell out of here now. Shut down. I think that's
All right.
it.
How about one more round of applause for the leader of the opposition, the Conservative Party leader. I'm sure you have a very busy day ahead of you. So thank you for your time. You've been gracious answering all of these questions.
I don't know. A little chaos, little fun. Who's going to win the election? Leave a comment. Who's going to win the election? I can't believe people are voting Liberals. I can't believe it. Got homeless people walking up my street. This area was beautiful. It was untouched neighborhood. I grew up in this neighborhood. And to see what is going up the street and sleeping in the bushes blows my mind. All Liberal. That's why it's like that. Homeless shelters, addiction sites, shut them all down. It's a zoo. My kids, how are they going to be able to afford a home? Honestly. And I get heated when I think about an older person voting Liberal. Because you're kicking, you're slapping my kids around. That's how I feel. Ground News, guys. Honestly, if everybody read Ground News, the polls would only be swinging one way, and that would be conservative. Sign up today. Bye-bye.